This week, 413 new stalls were installed throughout the United States and Canada, bringing the total stall count to 61,401. But the data is very confusing this week, and it took me longer to put this together just to try to make sense of what I was looking at. And it's not 413 stalls, because as you look, none of the major players really showed up this week. There was no Tesla, there was no Pilot Flying J, there was no EVgo. I mean, we did get two from EA, and ChargePoint was still doing what they were doing, but doesn't account for 413 stalls. And there was a couple of data dumps, and there was a few other things that were kind of confusing, but we'll get into that. Mercedes-Benz added one station in Ennis, Texas, 10 stalls. Electrify America added two, one Evolve New York partnership, and a Simon Mall in Hurst, Texas, 6 stalls. Here's ChargePoint. A couple to call out. City of Boston has 2, an IKEA in Quebec City. And this one right here is the confusing one. Harriman, Tennessee. It's right off Interstate 40, 4 stalls. And when you look at it in the data, when it's not coalesced, each one of these is a single stall dispenser, indicating ChargePoint Express, not ChargePoint Express Plus. And it just opened. When you go to PlugShare and look at it, these are ChargePoint Express Plus with 2 handles per dispenser, but the address is close, is off by the street address is off by a couple of numbers. So also, when you go to the ChargePoint app, it mentions a Chatamo handle, and right here we have a J3400 handle. So I'm thinking this picture is a second station that is probably not open yet, and what actually opened is additional dispensers in another area of the parking lot. It's called some kind of hub. Let me go back. Yeah, ChargePoint hub station or something like that. So not quite sure. Right off Interstate 40, in between Knoxville and Nashville. Here's EV Connect, 3 stations, one of them in Denver, Colorado. Let's take a look at that one. The other ones are Modesto, California, and Williamsburg, Virginia. This is the one in Boston. As you can see, a J3400 handle and an Autel unit with a nice big screen. And whoa, what's this guy doing there? He don't belong. Now let's get into the confusing portion. One of the honorable mentions is Flo, and this one's pretty straight up, mostly in Canada, except for this one in Chatham, Massachusetts, which is way off on the Atlantic coast, where Massachusetts kind of juts out into the Atlantic Ocean. So they're showing up, but otherwise in Canada. And another CPO I haven't heard of, Lakeland EV, all in Ontario, put in all these stations January 27th. And the ID is correct. And I also added the street address if anyone wants to look these up, because some of them don't exist in PlugShare. Some of them do. But they just added all of these. So that's where some of these 400 stalls are coming from. But most of them are coming from this CPO, In Charge. If you look at the installation date, here's one of 2023, here's one 2024, here's another one 2023, November 2023 with 10 stalls, Wyckoff Road in Ontario. The ID, though, is recent. So someone just went through and added In Charge, and there's 3 pages of this. I'll go through it slowly in just a second. So I'm thinking that Lakeland EV and In Charge, both in Canada, somewhere along the way, someone at the Alternative Fuels Data Center contacted them and say, hey, can you add your data? And they said, sure. Because last week also we had a very large data dump from a CPO that wasn't normally doing updates. So it's kind of strange that in as many weeks we have additional data dumps from CPOs that don't normally show up. So it kind of seems like someone's out there doing some due diligence. I'm going to go through these pages. Feel free to pause if anything's in your area in Canada. Page 2. And page 3. A total of 98 rows. Thanks for watching.